You were looking live in Nashville, Tennessee for this SEC Nation.
Move over the top, then you get back outside. All you needed was a step to convert that 4th and 5. I love it. And then the connection between Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers. Again, motion's going to pull this linebacker. Diego's going to really worry about this linebacker right here, Anthony Hill Jr. He's going to blitz or not. I love what he does right here. He looks at Stowers and goes, watch me, watch me. Give me your eyes. If he comes, give me your eyes. I'm going to throw it to you quick. What happens here? Linebacker comes, and I love this right away. He's not supposed to do this. He's supposed to run downfield. Instead, gives his eyes to Diego Pavia right away. Pavia finds him. Great catch on the back hip for a touchdown right there. Vandy's doing a great job of getting their best player involved on the money downs, and there's nobody that can guard him because of how well they're designing things right now.
That was awesome. I love it. We'll look to see him in the game. Certainly will have a key role. Let's check in on Gunnar Stockton, who's getting ready to go for the Georgia Bulldogs against Charlotte at number 4 Georgia, of course. An hour and 15 minutes to kick off on the SEC Network. And Marty, he's a guy that a lot of people have been trying to figure out, get a little bit more personality out of. You spent some time with him and did just that.
Laura, Gunnar Stockton is
Hello, beautiful people. Good morning and welcome to the SEC Nation live from Nashville, Tennessee.
It's interesting because he
And
told
you're on
me Monday through
campus
Friday,
of
I'm yes or no.
Vanderbilt
On
University.
Saturday, a switch flips. I
Campus,
become a
and
completely
of course,
different person. I went
we
down
are
to
down
Athens
to
this week to learn
one more
who that
SEC
person
Nation
was.
before we go down to
Inside of
Atlanta
Dallas,
in December
1984.
for this
Four on the
SEC
floor.
Championship.
Manual locking hubs, short bed F-150. I love watching his kid play. Gunnar under center. He's running to the end zone. Touchdown! He plays with great poise. Stockton keeping on the way. He's up by the end zone. Touchdown! But there is a fire inside of him. Stockton on the throw. Right into the end zone.
To the people that lose here on Lingo.
Gunnar, good morning, brother. Well, appreciate you spending the day with me.
It's having a good time. I can't wait to ride the chariot.
She's a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
She's so cute.
And the team that picks the highest number will go first. And today, our friends at Progressive Insurance have also added a mystery ball for you.
What are we driving here?
Oh my.
That's a Ford F-150, 1984. 1984. What's the story in this truck?
So it was my granddad, and I always grew up, sitting in the little seat, and just always, it was kind of my childhood truck. And when I got older, my papa was like, you can run it, like, you can have it, you can drive it. And so all I really needed was a battery at the time. Got it up and running, and that's kind of what I drove in high school.
How many of your teammates can drive this thing? Four on the floor. None? Growing up in Raven County, what was the experience growing up there you grew up?
It was a place that just grew up loving football, and you knew everybody, and I think that was the cool part of just growing up in a tight-knit community that kind of looked after one another and just loved everybody.
What was the Christmas present that some people might find to be an interesting request?
It was a Christmas present with cows. It was like the whole year I was actually we're not getting good inside. But my dad's family, like, there you go.
Good job.
But he,
All right.
He grew up with some, and that's kind of why I wanted to get into it.
All right. Oh.
What comes with being the University of Georgia quarterback that those of us who aren't couldn't know?
I'd probably just say your time's kind of limited just because you got a bunch of stuff going on. The biggest thing for me is not taking it for granted. Just enjoying the moment. Realizing how excited where I'm at. And you get to play with.
Stockton throws to the end zone, wide open, Lucky, touchdown!
He's been my guy. Like, I've seen him. So I'm not surprised at all when he gets the success. Like, I've seen it for years. So I had so much confidence in him. I couldn't wait to see him get to play all year, and then had a chance on the biggest stage. And I just want to let him know that I'm here for him.
Billy's just the same guy.
Come down the closet.
It's like family. Like, he's connected around this place. So he knows everybody. Everybody knows him.
Did leave.
What's y'all see on Saturdays? All we see every day.
Ain't. No.
How have you
Lee does not affect
as a leader?
I think just
Something
being
that
all
is
start
you wake
quarterback
up.
is different. It's like as a backup or not even third
It's in
string.
Lions.
I wouldn't say hard lead because you can always lead, but it's different just because you aren't the guy. But it's been great this season.
Are you going to throw this ball?
Yes, sir.
That ball's what? Right.
It's in the liner.
How you gonna practice today?
Oh.
It's great. He makes it tough to practice.
It's a linen.
Like there's some of the subscriptions on Friday. Like I get more nervous for Friday than I do for the games. How many miles does this thing have on? My papa said it was well over 300,000. I think we've exhausted the warranty.
Yeah, I don't think that bumper-to-bumper is going to cover it anymore, guys. I asked Stockton's teammates, when did you know he was the guy? And they all said, let's go back to the SEC championship game last year against Texas. He runs up the football field, gets his head knocked off in his bell rung, hops right up off the field. Everybody's like, whoa, man, you just got blown up. Hold on just a minute. Monroe Freeling, the left tackle, at breakfast said to me, that is the moment I knew he was my quarterback. Laura?
Oh, I love it, Marty. It's funny because Gunnar told us last week he watched that game back, but he did not watch the hit back. He didn't want to see the hit. And by the way, just shout out to Marty Smith for getting that access with Gunnar Stockton.
So good.
We have not seen Gunnar that way yet, and you really learn something about him too. You see the person that he is, and I think a lot of people have been trying to understand him. How does a guy from such a small town who drives the old Ford F-150 perform on the biggest stages, and yet it's in him somehow?
Because it's real, because it's authentic, because he's tough, because he loves the game, and it's contagious. Other people want to be around it. It's not about getting the limelight, it is about getting the job done. And that is someone that is easy to watch, it's easy to like, and I believe it'll be easy to play for.
I feel like one of the best quotes can summarize this. The famous Julius Campbell to Gary Bertier and Remember the Titans said, attitude reflects leadership, captain. The attitude of this football team when things get tough reflect the type of leader that Gunnar Stockton is. Who he is in every moment, which is like this. Constant. Unwavering. And that's why George's been so good down the stretch, is because of his leadership.
I want to throw out the Heisman odds, okay? Because I don't know if Gunnar Stockton's getting enough love when it comes to the Heisman. So let's see this. It continues to come down to the wire late into the season. According to ESPN Sportsbook, Fernando Mendoza is favored to take home the trophy. The three SEC quarterbacks still in the hunt. Marcel Reed, 6-1 odds. Diego Pavia at 16-1. Gunnar Stockton, 35-1. Rome, I mean, I know what you may say here because I'm not seeing a whole lot of defensive guys on the list there, but it's a little bit wide open, right?
I will say this, it is very wide open to only have 2 more weeks in the season for us to not even have a clue who's really the Heisman front runner. I'm not even saying the guy that's going to win it. Just who's the front runner? We think it's Mendoza because he had to play versus Penn State, but really the wide receiver. Pretty good throw. It was decent. It was high.
Typical TV.
Great catch. But I think Gunnar Stockton deserves a lot of this conversation. And the fact that early in the year we all thought, Paul, you may be on the same train as me, that we thought that Gunnar Stockton was going to be a liability. He is an asset to the team.
I don't want.
When preparation meets opportunity, I think you're seeing it come out and all to fruition with Gunnar Stockton and his ability to make the throw, to make the big play when the opportunity happens. That is what I think has stood out to me about Gunnar Stockton.
And I think you have to praise Mike Bobo, and I've never done that before.
Whoa! Breaking news.
Mike Bobo believed in him while nobody really believed in Mike Bobo. I'm talking about the fans. And we saw it in the Tennessee game when things started to happen, and then all of a sudden we went back to what Marty was just talking about. As far as the Heisman, remember something though. The Heisman isn't like it used to be. They used to send the ballots out, and guys my age would go ahead and check it because they're afraid they might not mail it. The ballot, you don't get the email until the last weekend, so you can't vote until the championship game. So if Gunnar Stockton is in the SEC championship game, he could come out of nowhere and win it.
And please, all the voters, watch all the games, all the way to the end, and do not put in your vote till it is done.
Tell him, Tim.
Watch all of the games. Honor the young men enough to watch all of the games.
I'm glad you said that. We're going to tell you next, too, the scenarios for clinching the SEC championship. A lot of it will happen next week, of course. And 4 teams still in the mix to play for that game.
Oh, yeah. We got to keep an eye on them.
The Achilles heels
So we can either,
That's next on Nation. Don't miss it. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back on the other side.